Indonesia has revealed a radicalized civil servant who was ready to become a suicide bomber has been arrested. But officials haven't disclosed which government agency she was from.
But they do say it would have led to serious consequences if she hadn't been detected and dealt with. Our correspondent in Jakarta, Chatni Babani, tells us about the challenges facing authorities weeding out radicalism.
Government is clamping down on extremism in the country, and Reuters report citing an unnamed senior government official says President Joko Widodo wants his legacy to ensure that Indonesia remains a model for moderate Islam. Now, I want to give you some context to all of this before I get to the challenges. Indonesia is constitutionally a secular country despite being a Muslim majority nation. Now, we've seen hardline and radical elements play an increasing role in politics recently, specifically in the Jakarta governor elections and, of course, the recent presidential elections as well. And President Widodo, according to that Reuters report, wants that before the next election in 2024, that these hardline and radical elements be weeded out for a healthier democracy. Now, where public servants are concerned, documents which Reuters says it has reviewed show that the government has plans to tighten background checks and introduce a new psychological test to better gauge the political leanings of candidates, particularly for civil servants looking to get promoted to the top two tiers of the government. Now, radicalism among public servants is a very real threat. Indonesia's Religious Affairs Minister Fakhrul Razi himself, a former military general, said that about 3% of military members had been exposed to radical ideology. Now, there's also been a survey conducted in 2017 by independent pollster Alvara Research Center, which found that 1 in 5 civil servants and 10% of workers in state enterprises didn't agree with the secular state ideology of Pancasila, and they instead favored an Islamic state. Now, the challenges, and there are a number of them in tackling this issue, is firstly the backlash from members of the public. Now, we've seen some unfavorable responses to certain statements or moves made by the government to tackle these radical elements. Hardline group Islamic Defenders Front, for example, has said that the planned vetting procedures amounted to discrimination against Islam. Now, another conservative Islamic group called Alumni 212 have also said that they would monitor the government's anti-radicalism programs and they would fight if the policy, according to them, violated the values of justice or, as they said, disrespected the majority of Muslims. Now, the other challenge, according to NGO Setara Institute, is that there are no agreed clear indicators of radicalism and tolerance to this day. And also the fact that this could curb the freedom of expression. So there really needs to be some very clear parameters which are missing.